Let's take stock of what's happening in terms of demand trends and footfalls when it comes to Bata India. Given that they've lined up expansion in Tier 3 as well as 4 cities as well, let's take a check on what or where things stand as of now on ground. We have with us Vidhya Srinivasan, Director Finance and CFO at Bata India, joining in on the show right now. Vidhya, hi, good morning. Good to have you on the show and welcome to ETNOW. Haven't spoken with you in a while, so just wanted to understand what kind of demand trends are you picking up across geographies, both Tier 1 and 2 cities, and what's happening in Tier 3 and Tier 4 towns?
Great. Nice talking to you. Good morning. I think we've done quite well. I think you saw Q2 results. Footfalls are trending nicely towards 2019 levels. And I think we've seen the momentum continuing into the festive season. Puja did well, and then we've had the Shera and Diwali piece. Trends are looking good both in Tier 1 as well as Tier 2 and Tier 3 towns. In addition, we are now in the midst of the wedding season. So I think, again, we're hoping that the momentum continues.
Just wanted to understand how the strategy has changed and if it has at all when it comes to your digital channels and whether or not you are seeing accelerated selling through your digital platforms as opposed to physical stores.
Yeah, I think we've been over investing in digital channels over the past few years, and I think that has borne good. That has borne us well during the COVID period. Obviously, digital channels are trending well, and we are seeing that what we are trying to do is to make sure that we are kind of following where the customer is going from a digital perspective. The sale through digitally enabled channels has increased 3x. We've also launched concepts like Bata Chat Shop, Store on Wheels, etc., trying to ensure that we enable digital payments across all the channels. And we're seeing really increased traction on those accounts. At the moment, 15% of our total sales is coming through digital channels, and we're expecting that percentage to increase.
Being a parent, Vidya, good morning first. Nikunj also joining in. Being a parent, I can vouch for one thing that kids have started going to school again, which means they'll have to buy the Bata ka juta, Bata ka school ka juta. Is there a delta factor for your FY22 profits and sales?
I think we are happy that the schools have reopened. I think we are seeing increased business through our school business, and we are hoping that obviously that is a big contributor for us and would contribute towards the FY22 profits.
Bata did diversify into specialty products a couple of years ago. The attempt was to take the Bata brand and add more merchandise line to it. You've been expanding the range of hush puppies also. You've been opening more stores. It's a classic Bata brand which in a sense resonates very well with the consumer. Are you pursuing those strategies or are you looking at cutting it back given where we are in terms of the pandemic reassessment?
No, I think we are, I think we are quite happy with, how customers have responded to our strategy. And I think we would continue that momentum. Obviously, we are doing that through both our own stores as well as franchisees, and we are expanding our franchisee store network quite a bit. We are already at about 270 franchisee stores. The specialty stores will also follow that track.
The shoe market per se, and which I personally thought 8-10 years ago would never be disrupted because it's hard to buy a shoe online, but it is happening now. There are new brands, there are startup brands, and there are classic brands. How do you see this entire retail experience changing? And it's an important question because one side, if everything is going online, that's good cost saving also for you because you don't have to invest in store and leasing more commercial space.
That's a very good question. I think what we are seeing in online is that the whole piece of branding is even more important in the online space. Because earlier, for example, when we are doing brick and mortar, consumers would react to media campaigns on TV, on digital, on print, and on billboards. Online, I think, adds a very specific nuance to how customers perceive brands. especially because they can't actually touch and feel the product. I feel that, brands have an even more greater relevance and value. And, and the way you have to communicate through social media platforms obviously change. And I think that is what we are pursuing right now.
Walk us through the raw material inflation challenges. How are you dealing with them? Price of leather, price of plastic, price of just about everything which Bata consumes to make a shoe, they've gone through the roof. Are you passing it on? Are you retaining it back? What is the strategy?
I think obviously there's been a huge amount of raw material volatility over the past few months. We are waiting and watching. Obviously, it is a slightly nuanced approach. We are passing it on where it makes sense, where it is not. We are kind of holding it. It's a wait and watch kind of an approach, because we have to see how things pan out over the next few months.
And watch more. Right now, we do see digital and omni-channel contribute about 14% to Bata's sales. Something else, Vidya, I wanted to ask you, as we enter the new year, from 1st of January, there will be a new GST inverted duty structure, which will be inflationary, right? You're looking at a much higher GST rate. How are you going to tackle with that? Will there be pressure to maybe, sell inventory before that? Are you in a position to pass it on, also given the fact that you're betting so big on tier 3 cities?
That is a good question. Obviously, this has an impact on us. I think we are less impacted in the sense about 50% of our portfolio is below 1,000, and so we have a less of an impact compared to maybe other players in the industry, but it would have an impact. We are kind of evaluating and seeing what we need to do, from a pricing standpoint as well as other approaches, gearing up to ensure that we kind of handle this rate change smoothly without impacting our customers too much. Having said that, we're also working with industry bodies to see, if we can get a few more months of time, because this would have especially with industry having pipeline stocks. We've just gone through the COVID impact, the second wave. So there is stocks in the system, which all of us are dealing with. And we are working with industry bodies to represent the government to see if we can get a few more months to do that, so that without causing too much of disruption to companies as well as to consumers.
Okay, so let's see how this one pans out. We are seeing industry requesting the government for more time, particularly the inventory that they are sitting on. Just to go back to a point that Nikunj was also talking with digitization, the kind of new brands that are mushrooming, sustainability is being given a big fillip. Like I said, digital and omni-channel contributes 14% to your sales. I also see that you have a vision to open 500 franchise stores by 2023. So in a sense, does that basically mean that Bata in India believes that brick and mortar is the way to go? Because we're also seeing now e-commerce companies open brick and mortar stores.
That is right. See, I think, ultimately Bata believes, like, any consumer company should believe that we should be where our consumers are. Our consumers are shopping digitally. Consumers want to come and see the products in our brick and mortar stores, and we need to be present where the consumers are present. We are seeing aspirations increasing in tier 3, tier 4 towns. We are seeing a certain aspiration, and we are trying to follow where the consumer wants to shop. And that's really what is dedicating our strategies, both in terms of digital channels as well as in, by way of franchises.
But I'll be very frank, and this is just my feedback. I mean, Bata is a great brand. We've grown up with this brand. We know the great franchise Thomas Bata has created. But has Bata really lived up to the entire recall value for the next gen and the millennium? Somewhere I feel that Bata needs to reposition that. Would you agree with me, or would you like to dismiss it? That's a personal thought.
I would never dismiss anything you say, but I think we've actually launched over the last few years a campaign called Surprisingly Bata, which we are continuing to kind of push, because I think, and that campaign's the heart of that campaign is trying to communicate to the next gen, the millennial population, about some of the products and offers that we have. There is a huge amount of emphasis that we're now putting in casualization, on sneakerization, where we are launching, more than 250 new, we've launched products. We've launched, Sneaker Studio, which positions about 9 sneaker brands under one umbrella. So we're doing a lot of effort to kind of to casualize our range, and I think that hopefully will resonate. And we are seeing that. We are seeing the consumers who are coming in, who are listening to, who have responded to the surprisingly Bata campaign, and who come into our stores or have shopped with us digitally, are buying these products. For example, we recently launched a product called Clothes, which is seeing huge traction and across our channels. So I think we are hopeful that this campaign, as well as the product portfolio changes, will actually resonate with the consumer segment that you talked about.
The best way to understand the course of growth for Bata, let's assume the basic ballpark number in which you expect the shoe industry to grow, and within that, how will you grow?
No, I think our effort and our endeavors to try and get back to 2019 levels, and that would obviously predicate a certain level of growth, so yeah, I think we would like to kind of retain and expand our market share within the shoe industry, and I think that's the best answer I can give you at this moment, right?
And just to wrap it up with one final question, Bata went through some technology implementation challenges. That was not once upon a time, that was a couple of years ago. Is that all history now? Are things working on the CRM, on the technology front? I mean, is everything sorted?
Yeah, I think that happened some time back. I think now that is history. I think right now we are in the midst of upgrading infrastructure on an ongoing basis, and responding to changes that are happening in the marketplace, especially in the areas of CRM, customer interaction, etc. So I think so yeah, that is not an issue right now.
Just to wrap it up in one final word, next 3 years, are these exciting times for the shoe industry, or these are challenging times because of competition and because of new brands?
I think these are exciting times for the shoe industry. I think we are seeing a period of rapid changes. I think we are positioning ourselves to respond to those changes, and I think I'm hopeful that the efforts that we are taking will hold us in good stead.
Well, Vidhya, lovely talking to you, and I am a happy customer of Bata. Grown up wearing Hush puppies. Every reason to endorse that. One of the best shoe I've ever worn. So thank you very much, and certainly hope to see much more of you going forward.
Thank you so much. Lovely to talk to a loyal customer. Thank you.